Good morning, Anindya Bose sir. I'm Sanjeev Reddy here.
Good morning, Reddy sir.
Good morning to Sanjeev sir and Anindya sir.
Good morning, Satpathy sir.
Satpathy sir, welcome back.
And wish you all a happy Binayak Chavati to all the viewers, participants, organizers.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Today is a very auspicious festival.
And today we are going to have some Gyan from our Anindya Bose. So day starts with some Buddhi, Vidya.
Yes,
And
yes.
Bose is our boss.
Yes, sir. Bose is our boss. Very good,
Yes.
sir. I fully agree with you.
You know, Sanjeev sir.
Yes, sir. Kindly tell.
Anindya sir, other day I was just going through his profile. Somewhere I could see that profile. I was surprised to see he has given more than 250 such talks in the entire world. And today is one more count up.
250, sir, already?
200 plus.
Oh, I see. Very, very impressive.
Very impressive.
Really, sir.
It's all your blessings, sir. You people invite me, and then that is why I come and.
No, it's always pleasure. The more you listen to you, the more we understand. Even today, I have shared this link to some of my friends abroad. I said, if you can find some time, please log in.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Naeem, he is very impressive, and he said he will try, finishing his work and all, because today is weekend, so maybe people will be busy in their household works.
Nice.
But anyway, the acronym what Anindya has given for COVID, now we have to popularize this.
See, it's actually happened. I was supposed to give a talk on impact of COVID on publication domain. So I was just thinking about what all impacts are there, and I was just pointing it down, jotting it down. And then I thought the biggest challenge is faced by the faculties right now. And what is the challenge? If someone has asked me to do a video for 5 minutes and share with them. It is such a Herculean task for me. I cannot tell you. Talking to the camera, it is like I talk to people so often, interact with everyone very easily.
Face to face, you talk.
Face to face, I talk. But the moment I have to talk to a camera, it becomes such a challenge. And then, it's like talking to students, so many students whom you cannot interact with, you cannot see them. So I thought it is very.
Basically, Anindya sir, as you told, talking to a camera, somehow it looks very impersonal.
Yes.
It's as good as talking to a machine.
No, for a moment, you need to imagine the camera is the God. Then you can speak, scold, and whatever you like, you can do.
I think one needs to get used to also to speaking before the camera, because it is so impersonal, so indifferent, this camera. Whereas you are used to interacting with people.
I remember, Sanjeev sir.
Yes.
I remember one interview by Manoj Bajpayee. Manoj Bajpayee, who is the actor.
Yes, Manoj. I've seen his movies.
So he was asked which is more difficult, theater or movie. So he said theater is easy. So everybody was telling theater is difficult. Theater you have to perform once, you are on the stage with in front of people. But he said doing theater is easy because at least I can see the faces of people. I can see whether they are happy with my acting or they are annoyed or they are laughing at my. But when you are doing a movie, you are just, you're in a cinema, you are talking to a camera. And camera is something which is non-living thing and not giving any kind of vibes. or not interacting at all.
Both.
Very true, sir. Very impersonal.
So very impersonal. So it is like, so initially I remember, yes, sir.
And you also earlier mentioned, sir, you know, when you talk to the people face to face, because in a live interaction, you are able to see their emotions, you know, whether they are happy, whether they are, you can say, not so happy, all that. And with that, you know, we can dynamically also, our speech will change depending on their mood. And that gives us a pleasure also.
See, what exactly I do, Reddy sir, when I give a talk, physically, when I go and give a talk, first 5 minutes, it's like understanding the crowd, you know, audience.
Very
what
true,
exactly they want to, they will understand, and how I try to gauge that.
Yes.
You know, accordingly I modulate, you know, and but it is very difficult to moderate anything when you cannot see the audience.
Yes.
Naveen, are you scrolling the yesterday photographs? I think so, right?
Sir, you said something?
No, I said Naveen is scrolling in his desktop yesterday's photographs.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
He's trying to scroll so that viewers can see,
Yes,
you know, on Zoom. Yes. By the time others join, I think, yeah.
Yes.
Sanjeev Reddy sir, good morning. Satyapati sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Sujata madam.
Ananda Bose sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And happy Vinayak Chauthi sir to all of you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Water for me, baby, pull up at the wrist card. Vibing in the wrist card. Got to stick all the wrist card. Got to be.
See, some of the person kept the
Water for me, baby, pull up at the wrist card. I'm in the wrist card.
Naveen, you can block.
I will block, sir.
Right the wrist card. Water for me, baby, pull up at the wrist card.
I blocked, sir. Satyapati sir, you can unmute your side, sir.
Yeah.
I blocked all the annotations and allow the unmute all these things. I blocked, sir.
You can.
I blocked, sir. I blocked,
no,
sir.
You can disable the chat room.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's better.
I will remove that person Tessa C, sir.
No. You can
Yes,
you
sir.
can disable the chat room. That is the best option. And then you have made it Zoom room open. You must have done with permission to add or something, right? Because you have made it open,
Yes, sir.
That's the thing. What?
So many
No, no, no.
others is there, sir.
That's fine. That's fine.
I will stop, sir. I will stop, sir.
Yeah, you can allow only when you
Yes, sir.
authenticate. Yeah, it's an academic forum, and we do not want any kind of undispleased type of messages or statements from anyone. We are doing it for the good for the researchers, with due respect to all. We should not be disturbed by this kind of thing, but even then, we have to protect our academic sanctity. Without our permission, nobody can offend us. Remember, Naveen.
Yes, sir.
So we are not giving any permission to anybody. But despite that, we need to protect the sanctity of this scientific meet,
Yes,
scientist meet. So that's the reason we'll take few administrative measures. We have too many things to worry about, not all this. Those who write such kind of thing, they are all unhealthy and sick people.
There are multiple of them right now, actually.
Yeah, this is like a kind of trespassing, hacking kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people who are useless, they do not have any job. It's all called ill mind. They have bigger COVID disease than the actual COVID-19.
Exactly.
In COVID-19, only your, one part of your limbs will not work, but their all parts never work.
Yes, yes. And it is act of trespassing, as you told.
It's like more they say, it's not like water, it will cool us. It is like fuel, which will make us more burn and drive ourselves.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Zoom has a lot, Naveen, Zoom has a lot of administrative control.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I closed all the things.
It's not that open. People used to say Zoom has got a lot of, loopholes, etc. But if you know the administrative control,
yes, sir.
You can have a secured room.
Sir, I have given only unmute whoever co-hosts, sir. That is the reason I given co-host to Aninda, sir, and yourself and Sanjeev Reddy, sir. And few of the
chat room
already I disabled, sir. Already disabled, sir.
Once Aninda sir's talk is open, we'll open it. We'll ask people to raise their hand because there is one raising hand.
Yes, sir.
And
at
that time, that particular one, unmute.
Yes,
so
sir,
that they ask question. So what time we start? We are waiting for
Sanjeev Reddy, sir.
Yes, just I'm audible, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, you are audible.
Audible. Okay. Yes, sir. I think now this time we can start 10:11.
Okay, sir. Yeah, you can proceed, sir, with the formal announcement.
Yes. So I take this opportunity to, as a convener of the Springer Conference, to invite Sri Aninda Bose Garu, who is the senior editor of Springer from New Delhi, and today he has graciously accepted to give us the keynote address for about half an hour. As yesterday, time was not sufficient, and we are very grateful to you, sir, for giving this time. And as always, we are very much interested in hearing you or listening to you, because your talks are always interesting and very informative to us. So, with this few introductory words, I now welcome Ananda sir to give his keynote address to the audience.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all. This is a lovely, auspicious day. I think that is one of the reasons yesterday I was not allowed to give this keynote, because I have to come on that auspicious day and talk to you all. And it's basically the love which has come from MRCET is always in abundance. I really appreciate that. And so it will be a small talk, not a big talk. It's like half an hour time. So I will just share my screen so that I can share the presentation with you.
Yes.
It will just take a while. I think you can see my presentation now, right? You can see the slides now, right?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
We are able to see, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, all. So this is like, I thought, let us talk about a book. Why not take the advantage of this particular platform and introduce the journey of a book, how a book actually is formed, what are the facts of book, why we need to have a book, and what are the types of book. There are so many different aspects to it. So it is always good to see what exactly we are doing in a book, So with this note, I will start my presentation today. Before I go into the presentation, I would like to tell you something about Springer. And Springer is a company which started in 1842. So we are already 178-year-old company. Now you can see very well everywhere it is written Springer Nature. So the name Nature came because in 2015, Macmillan Science and Education, they had a joint collaboration with Springer, and Nature is one of the flagship journal of science. They became part of Springer. So the name became Springer Nature. So 1842, the company started by a gentleman called Julius Springer. You can see his photograph over here. At a very young age, he started a small bookstore in Berlin. And with that bookstore, during those days, interestingly, all the scientists, they used to publish their own work. They don't used to come to publishers very often. They used to go to conferences, and people not used to publish proceedings like we do very frequently nowadays. It's like, people just go to a conference, present their paper, and after presenting their paper, they take the feedback and all the review comments, and then they publish their work on their own. So this was a very big trend at that time. So at those times, Julius Springer, he said, why not I go and help others publishing their work? So he started talking to all these people, the people who are coming to his bookstore. So this is how a company called Springer started at a very small note, and now you all know that we have 10,000 plus colleagues and we have offices in 50 countries. It's very big. In 1924, we actually ventured out of Germany and we opened another office in Vienna. Then in 1946, after the Second World War, our biggest office, which is Heidelberg office, which is our editorial head office, was opened. So now it is again, we are present in different 50 countries. It's a big company with 10,000 people. Before I go into the steps of how to write books and what exactly the type of books and all, there are certain interesting facts which will be very helpful for you to understand how it is basically everything started. If you look at the first thing, this is a disc. If you can see, this is the oldest printed material known to mankind. This is a Festos disc, which was 3,870 years ago. This disc was made, and the symbols over there, you can see, they are all hieroglyphics. They were stamped and they were not carved. So these are all stamped, and this is how the printing thing started. This is the oldest printed material available to the mankind. Then we have the oldest printed book, which is like in 868 AD with the wood block printing. That was the printing available at that time with the wood block. Now, wood block is still very famous kind of a painting printing which we usually use for our painting garments and all. So this is a book called Diamond Sutra, which is the oldest printed book. It started. We have published this in 868 AD. Then came the revolution, the father of modern printing, Johannes Gutenberg. He was a German craftsman and inventor of first printing press in the world. When this first printing press came, we only had something around 3,000 books around the world, not more than that. And right now we have trillions of them, and we have so many books just because this printing machine was invented by Johannes Gutenberg. The first thing which was printed by Johannes Gutenberg was a Bible, which is a 42-page Bible, and it took 2 years to print the whole thing. So you can imagine how much time it must have taken to just print a 42-page book. But this is how the whole printing scenario started in 1454, which is long back. Now we have traveled a lot, and we have come to a world where we have books every day. We have thousands of books are getting published. The role of Springer Nature in academic book publishing, because we are not only book publisher, we are academic book publisher. In the academic area, we publish books, which is called STM, like scientific, technical, and medical. Now another M is added to it. If you look at it, it is scientific, technical, medical, and management also is there. So we started in 1842, as I said. We are the largest academic book publisher in the world. Books across all research areas, like science, technology, and medicine, we publish. For the last 30 odd years, we are into humanities and social sciences also, and we are doing a lot of books in humanities and social sciences. We publish almost 13,000 new books each year. That's a huge number of books which comes each year. There are more than 3 lakh books which are available on our platform as online. We are the pioneers in online. We started online publishing in books in 2005. We started online publishing of journals in 1995. After 10 years in 2005, we realized that no, we have to publish all the books also online. So our books, whatever we publish in Springer, comes as online first, and then after online, it gets printed. So we have more than 3 lakh books available on our platform, which is called Springer Link. So we, as I said, we are the pioneers. We are first publisher to offer all books in electronic format alongside the print version. Now, why you need to write a book? What are the benefits? Why one should actually come and write a book? Because you are doing experiments. While doing experiments, you are creating journal articles, and these articles are getting published in journals. But still, you want to write a book. There is a need for that. So I will tell you the benefits. Why there is a benefit of writing a book. See, you conduct the research for yourself. Whatever we want to say, that we do it for mankind, we do it for humankind or whatever, or the community. But at the end of the day, we do research to satisfy our own queries, where we have questioned ourselves, and these questions need to be answered, and they can be answered by doing research. So we conduct research for ourselves, and we write for others. We don't write for ourselves. Why we write? Because we need to put that in paper. Once you start writing, then you advance the study. Whatever you have actually achieved, whatever you have experienced in your experiments, whatever you have learned, you need to share this with your community. That is very important. So 3 important things. First, you connect with community. That is very important. When you write a book, you build your reputation, which is very important. When you write a book, people know you. That is one of the reasons you have to write a book with a publisher where the dissemination is very good. Because without good dissemination, the book will not reach the readers. The whole objective of writing a book is reaching the audience, reaching the correct readership, who can actually read your book and understand your work, and then they can cite your work. When they cite your work, then only it accelerate your career. So these all things are very connected to each other. First, your connection with the community, then you're building your reputation, and finally, it is helping you in your career. There are 5 steps to publishing a book from starting. I will just tell you about those 5 steps. What are these 5 steps? Let us start. The whole thing starts with an idea. You have an idea. Okay, I have something in my mind which is coming up. You write it down immediately, because ideas are something which is like a, you must have seen that it is it's signified by a bulb over there. So the reason is this, that it close and again it switches off, it goes away. So whenever you have an idea, write it down, that will help you. So when you have an idea, the book is also starting with an idea. So when you have an idea which is a new one, which is a good one, then it is actually something you are going to create for the future readers. But if you have a unique idea, like an idea which is very different from others, then it actually fills the gap in current literature. Why there is a gap in current literature, I say, if you think about a topic like artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence, everybody is talking about it for the last 10 years. Everywhere you go, you are hearing artificial intelligence. But does artificial intelligence started 10 years ago? No. If you just go back to the literature, you will see artificial intelligence started, the word was coined in 1960s. That means for the last 60 years, artificial intelligence is there. So, but if you try to see the literature, there are gaps in those literature. There are areas where there are gaps. Now, when you have a unique idea, then these gaps get filled with your idea. So a book can come and book can actually fill that gap in that literature which is available. So that is why I said, when you have a unique idea, then it actually fills the gap in current literature. Now you have an idea, you have written that idea is there, you are ready to conceptualize on it, and you are ready to work on it. Then comes the next step, the second step. The second step is basically you need to create a proposal. Once the idea is there, idea needs to be changed to formalized into a proposal, then only it works. Then only you can approach a publisher. So what all things you need for creating a proposal? For creating a proposal, first thing which you need is your CV, that is your biography. The list of publications which you have, you need to jot down, you need to put it on paper. This is your CV, this is your work, and these are the areas in which you have published. So the publisher can very well understand, okay, he has an expertise in this area, so he can write in that area. Second is synopsis of the book. Synopsis is about the book. Now here I would like to emphasize that whenever you are writing synopsis of the book, try to write about the book, not about the subject. Usually I have seen authors make a mistake over here. They put lots of data about the subject in which you are going to write. Suppose you are writing a book on machine learning applications. Now, we don't want to know about machine learning. We want to know what all applications you are going to actually add in your book, what all you are going to discuss in your book. So about the book is basically the topics in your book and the benefit reader is going to get by reading them. That is about the book. Then table of contents. Table of contents is the structure of the book. So it is important that you create the structure of the book and you create the table of contents. Now there is a difference between table of contents and index. Many people get confused with the terms over here. I will clarify. Index is basically the terms, important terms used in your book. Those are index, which is a part of the back matter. But if you see table of contents is the basic structure of your book. If you have a detailed table of contents, then it is very easy for publisher to understand what exactly the structure of your book. Then you have sample chapters. Sample chapters of the proposed the book in which you are going to write. Suppose you have created some sample chapters, then it is again very easy to understand the objective. So these are the 4 things which are needed to formalize a proposal, so that the idea has been changed and transformed into a proposal with these 4 things. Then comes the third step. Now your proposal is ready. You are going to send this proposal to the publisher. When you send this proposal to the publisher, first thing publisher is they will do is evaluate their proposal. Look at the proposal and see whether all the things are intact, all the elements are there or not, and everything is there present or not. Once they are sure about it, okay, everything is ready, then they send it for peer reviewing. Peer reviewing is basically sending your work to an expert in that area, in your area of expertise. So suppose you are writing in machine learning. So a person who is expert in machine learning, we will send the book to that person for checking whether there is a need for this book, whether the content of this book is correct, whether the book is basically required at that moment by our readers or not. So this thing will be checked by peer reviewers. Simultaneously, we send it to our own editorial board. So the review process is to, it's like dual purpose. Two things are simultaneously working. External, who are the peer reviewers, and internal, who is our editorial board. Once the review is done, and if it is positive, then comes acceptance. The book is accepted, and then we have contracting of the book. Then we contract the book, and contracting is done. It's a legal document which needs to be signed by both the parties. Like if you are an author will sign that, Springer representative will sign that, or the publisher representative will sign that, and you will have this. Then you will get an author package. Once the contract is done, our team will take over and they will send you an author package. What exactly is author package? Author package is basically the guidelines for writing the book, the template in which you are going to write, the author instructions like how to deal with the manuscript, what is the structure of the manuscript, how you are going to refer the references, how you are going to deal with the references, what will be formatting. These all different details will be there. Copyright thing, which is very important, taking permission forms. So these are all details which will be part of author package. So from evaluation of the proposal to peer review to acceptance, acceptance to contracting, contracting to author package, and finally with the author package, you create a manuscript. Once the manuscript is ready, when you are ready with the book, which is called the manuscript, usually nowadays manuscripts are all in digital form. Very few manuscripts are handwritten. Previously, everything used to be handwritten, then it needs to be typed. Now everything is either in the doc format or in a LaTeX format. Many people use LaTeX. For the people who are dealing in physics and people who are writing in mathematics, they love to do. But usually, maximum people, they use Word, Microsoft Word, that is a doc file, and you create a manuscript. Once we receive the manuscript, first we do an evaluation of the manuscript, whether everything is present in that, whether all the elements are in proper form, whether the structure is correct or not. Once we are sure about it, the manuscript goes for creation of an XML file. This is the next stage which you can see over here, which is the tagging of the file. XML file, because once the book is getting published, it is getting published in different formats. Now it is not only digital format, it's digital in many different ways. If you have to read the book on iPad, the format is EPUB. If you have to read the book on Kindle, the format is PRC. If you have to read the book on a smartphone, the format is different. So we have to create first an XML file. XML file is the parent format from which we create different formats. So the manuscript transformed into a digital format. From that digital format, it is actually going to be published as a printed book and different digitized content. Once the book is ready, the fifth step or the final step is there, which is like, to be shared with the world. That is the most important step, because when the book is ready, how are we going to disseminate that book? Where are we going to take your book? Because if it is not reaching the correct audience, then your book will remain unread forever. The most important part of the writing is to get it shared with the world. Now we have certain things over here, like we have springer.com, and springer.com is a website where we have a dedicated page for this book. We have a home page for each book we publish, and we have all the sales information over there. So if anyone wants to know or we want to promote, we give this link to people, we create a flyer and we keep it over there so that people can come and people can understand what exactly is there in the book. Second thing is Springer Link. Springer Link is the content platform, a platform in which your content is ready. We have 10,000 plus institutions are member of this particular Springer Link platform. So you can imagine how big is the basically readership, how many people are getting actually access to your book. People who are actually getting subscribed, they are all able to download your book and they can actually read. Then comes distribution. We have third parties, like there are third parties, all these e-commerce sites like Amazon, iTunes, Flipkart. They are all the companies where we take your book and your book is available over there. They have a dedicated homepage of your book and book is sold on their websites. Then we have author support. We create newsletters, we create flyers, we create covers, we create banners, and all these things are basically circulated, distributed in different conferences. Like right now, the situation is like this: we are not able to go physically to a conference. So many conferences we have, digital exhibition room, and in digital exhibition room we select all these books, we create banners of all these books, and even right now, in different big conferences, like there is a conference, ACS, American Chemical Society conference. This is one of the biggest conference in the US. So there are, more than 40,000 people, they come and they actually attend that. So there's a huge conference. So in these huge conferences, we love to participate, and they give us, the platform, they give us the digital exhibition platform where we can go and we can discuss about the books. So this is the fifth step where we actually, so from step 1 to step 5, you can see very well, from an idea, it becomes a proposal. From proposal, it becomes a manuscript. From manuscript, it becomes a book. And from book, we are sharing it to the world. So these are the 5 steps which are involved in creation of a book from an idea. Let us talk about types of books. Let me just tell you about few types of books which will help you to understand what are different academic types and what you can actually contribute in case you want to. First type is basically a monograph. It's a scholarly book. It's a single subject or a group of related subject written by a single author or multiple authors. It is a monograph is the research content on content which you are working. It is usually written by single author or 2 or 3 authors, the whole book on a very specific subject area. Then comes edited volume or edited books. These are contributed books. Now, contributed books are invited work, it is different from monograph. Monographs are written by authors. Edited books are, maybe a single person or a group of people. They decide, okay, we will create an edited book. We will invite people in our own community and we will take chapters from them. So edited book is a very interesting book. But unfortunately, nowadays, people are not understanding the value of edited book, or they don't want to understand. They want to create some kind of a quick book as an edited book. It is not a quick book. I will give you an example over here. When you actually write uh, original papers for journal, all young scholars who are young PhD scholars or people who are like very young faculties, they write original papers. They don't write review papers very quickly. Review papers should be written by people who are like 40 plus, who has experience of 15 years. They have read a lot about the subject, so they can review and they can write review papers. But similarly, edited books, they also work in the same fashion. Edited volumes also work in the same way. When you are senior enough to understand the subject very well, then you start, go out and you invite people to write in your book, and then you can edit those work, and then you can present that edited book. What exactly people are doing right now, I can tell you. People are basically coming out, they are creating call for chapters, and then they are inviting chapters, and they are creating contributed volumes. That is not the way to create an edited volume. When you write call for chapters or call for papers, that is the third type of book which you can see on the slide, that is called proceedings. Proceedings is collection of academic papers which are published in a congress or a conference or a symposium or a workshop. The one which we are in right now, there are 5 conferences happening, and you have more than 1,000 papers submitted. Now, why these 1,000 papers are submitted? Because there were call for papers. Call for papers went out, and people were actually giving papers, submission their papers, and finally They were reviewed, peer reviewed, and they were actually published. Now, this is what is proceedings, and proceedings is very different from edited book. Please mind it. I'm emphasizing again and again that edited book is a contributed volume, which is an invited work, which is not called for chapters. Then we have professional books. Professional books are usually written by people who are working with companies. They are professionals, but with the academic background. They write, these books are more practical oriented. They are like manuals, or they are like guide or data compendium, so which will help academicians for certain details, and they also help the professionals who are working there. Then comes textbook. You all know textbook, what exactly it is. It is a course book. It is a syllabus based book, which are used in schools and colleges and universities. So there is a particular structure for writing a textbook. In textbook, you will find case studies. In textbook, you will find problems and answers. In textbook, you will find glossaries and all those details. So which is a very, very standard style. So although Springer never claims that they are a textbook publisher, but as we publish so many books, we also publish more than 300 textbooks in a year, which is much, much higher than any textbook publisher. But our bread and butter is basically research, monograph, and edited books. Then we have reference work. Reference work are multi-volume reference work, which provides background on a particular topic. It is like starting from the very basic fundamental thing and going to a very advanced level. That is the whole thing, which is like an encyclopedia, you can say. So reference works are encyclopedia, and this is the kind of a book where you can go again and again, go back and refer. That is why it is called reference work, so that you cannot read it once. You have to refer it back again and again. Then come handbooks. Handbooks are similar to reference work, but usually it is a one-volume work. It is single volume, and it's a concise compilation. You will find a thick book, and in Springer we are very, very proud of handbooks, and our handbooks are very, very high-selling product and very highly downloaded product. And I think writing a handbook is not easy, and it's a big compilation of work. Again, talking about all the key information which is there in the subject is a part of that book. Then we have Springer Brief. I will just quickly tell you about Springer Brief. Brief is a different type of a book altogether. This is a very compact volume of 50 to 125 pages, small books. We realized that there are books which are 100 pages, but 100 pages books are very difficult to publish because they do not qualify for a monograph, and they cannot be taken as a journal article, because you cannot have a 100-page article. It will be like 15 or 20 page. But suppose you want to have 100-page and you want to make it a book, then we have this particular type is available. This program is available, which is called Springer Brief, which is like 50 to 125 pages, soft cover binding, copyright in author's name. So you don't have to even give copyright to the publisher. Copyright remains with you. That is basically for the quick publication, quick turnaround. We have done this so that you, if it's a very new work or something which you want to publish quickly, your research, and then from this research you can also take the work and publish it as journal articles. That is why we give the copyright in the name of author only. This is not a type of book. This is a mode of publishing an open access book. Open access books are basically very, very popular nowadays, and we have recently published 1,000 number open access book, and we are very proud of it. We started in 2012, almost 8-9 years ago, and then in 2016 we geared up with more open access books, and recently we have published the 1,000th one. Open access books, why you have to write open access books? Because open access books gives you 7 times more downloads. The whole idea of writing a book is getting more downloads. When you have more downloads, then you have more citations, and you can see in open access books there is more 50% more citations and 10 times more online mentions. Online mention means your book is getting mentioned over all social sites, or people are writing blogs about it. So open access book has these all advantages. But interestingly, open access book is where you have to pay a good amount, because it is as a publisher we charge you which is a book processing charge. Now, always book processing charges are paid by author, but usually you will not find authors are paying that amount. That's a big amount. Sponsors are there, funders are there. So if you can go to springer.com, and if you on our website, you go to funding page for open access, there are more than 200 funders listed over there. If you have a very interesting book, if you have an interesting proposal, then definitely you can talk to these funders, and if they agree, then you can come out with about open access book. Recently we started a type of book which is different, which is a video book, which is like we realized that new generation is more inclined towards learning things from videos. They love to hear, they love to see videos in YouTube. So what we have done, we started on a very small scale with computer science department and with the medical discipline. So we have almost right now only 150 odd video books, but right now we are opening it for our business management as well as for engineering courses. So video book is something where you can create a small video, like half an hour video, 45 minutes video, which is divided into 5 or 6 chapters. And these are like narration of your work, maybe a work on feature selection, maybe a work on anything on your topic particularly. So you can create a video book. This is a very interesting format where all the young scholars or young faculties, they can create these video books. You can go to Springer link, and if you scroll down at the end, you will find there's a link called videos, and 150 or some number is given there. If you go there, you will be able to find video books in our website, and you can actually check them. And if you really want to write them, this is a very interesting area. See, before I say thank you to you for giving me this opportunity to talk and listening patiently on a Saturday morning on this auspicious day, first important thing, what I would like to say, work sincerely, work it with your all dedication, focus on quality. That is the most important thing. If you are working with quality, nobody can stop you. Say no to academic corruption, because academic corruption is something which you are aware because you are part of this academic world. But if you keep yourself away from this academic corruption, you stay happy. So please stay happy, stay safe, and be away from academic corruption. Thank you so much. And this is my email ID. If you have any questions, I will be able to take it right now. If you don't have right now, this is my email ID, aninda.bose@springeragent.com. You can come back to me if you have any specific thing to ask about publishing, about book publishing. Please write to me. I will be very happy to answer your queries. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank
you very much, sir, for a very Ananda sir, for a very interesting and informative, you can say, talk on a subject which we are normally not familiar. We engineers and technocrats, because we only read books or journals, but we do not know the process of publishing of books, their categorization, and what all goes, you can say, before the book is published. So it was very that way interesting and informative. And sir, I have a small question, because
Yes.
I am also avid book reader. Like, for example, sir, in out of the classification of books, handbook, and there is one edited book or
Correct.
edited volume.
Correct.
I think because, sir, I read because I was a radar scientist, so radar handbook by Skolnick, edited by Skolnick.
Yeah, that's a very famous book.
Very famous. He calls it a radar handbook, and edited by M.I. Skolnick. In that, his own paper is there, and he has asked the experts to contribute chapters.
Correct.
So I think, sir, this merges edited volume and handbook, both, isn't it, sir? Because edited volume, in the sense, he has edited.
Yes. You are right, sir. He has edited that book. That is why he's called editor of that handbook. And handbook is again, collection of chapters from different contributors. Chapters from different contributors. So that is why it is. But handbook is basically talking about everything about that subject. Talking from the basics to the advanced level. It covers everything, all the key areas, all the even whatever basics from very basics to the advanced level. So which is not like normal edited books. Normal edited books can be on any subject area, any topic, and a small topic can be covered also in edited book. But handbook is precisely the key information on a particular subject which covers everything.
And in that, the experts are invited to contribute chapters.
Exactly. All experts will be there, and who are the editor himself will be a big expert, and the authors will be equally important experts.
Yes, sir. When you said that, I remember that radar handbook by Skolnick, which I have extensively referred when I was in DRTO. So.
And that is why I said, sir, these handbooks are similar like reference books. It cannot be read once. It is something like, which you will refer back again and again and again.
Very true, sir. Very true. And we'll come back to it whenever there is even a small doubt. And then it is like a treasure to be kept in the house or on your desk.
Exactly.
So then thank you very much, sir. And I would request any other questions you can kindly pose to Aninda sir quickly. And otherwise, I think we'll close the session and relieve Aninda.
I think we can close this session, sir, because there will be presentations, and Mr. Aninda has shared his mail ID. So interested listeners can always post their queries to him.
Yeah, definitely. They can write to me.
Yes, sir. Very good session, and you are always approachable and available. So once again, thank you very much, Aninda sir, for sparing today morning's valuable time and illuminating us on a little different topic but connected.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
So thank you, and we'll again, of course, sir, we'll keep in touch with you, and next time it will be face to face with you, sir. I can say that.
Thank you.
We'll have at Marset your presence, and again we'll go around the campus.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Satpathy sir.
Sir, thank you. So we can close this session, and then I think authors can go to their respective Zoom rooms.
Session. Yes.
Yeah. And Naveen will, I think, will coordinate the rest of the
Naveen sir, you can kindly, coordinate.
Sir, at present, I am ending the meeting, sir.
Yeah, kindly.
Thank you.